Hey everyone, welcome. So we got a lot of things going on today, and I just want to celebrate with you. I did a video earlier. I was kind of excited. It was my 400th video, and I had set a goal of having 400 videos before the end of this year, and I've already accomplished that here in March. And I actually have 20 more videos made that are scheduled out throughout the year for times when I'm going to be gone, or I got a couple scheduled that are Christmas related, so I schedule them for Christmas time. So I actually have 420 videos done, but I have worked my butt off. I have done a video a day since November. Today I accidentally released 2 at the same time, and I'm going live today on top of having 2 videos. So hopefully that'll work on to what I'm going to talk about next. I have, as a channel, gotten to 3,605 watch hours, which I am very excited about. That means I'm only 395 now away. And then yesterday I reached another milestone I think is pretty awesome. 175,000 videos or views, 175,000 views. So I'm pretty excited about that too, as well. So, does anybody have any canning questions tonight for me? I got several videos coming out. They're pretty exciting. Tomorrow is the blueberry pie filling that everybody said they'd like on the poll. I accidentally released the blackberry jam one today that did not make the top of the poll, but tomorrow the blueberry pie filling will be out. Hi, Capone Cabin. Thanks for coming in. I see Lewis is already here. Hi, Tiki. Thank you for coming in too. So, Carpenter Self-Reliance is here. Ooh, you had your 921 yesterday. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I'm a little jealous too. Very excited. Very excited. That'll be cool. So there'll be some videos from you on canning this year. You'll have your pantry stocked well now. So I have been on a water bath canning extraordinaire. Hi, Charlotte Jerome. Thank you for coming. Well, this is a place to learn. Thursdays and Saturdays, I take questions live. And then we have a Facebook group with 100 and some thousand people in there. So it's always linked after the videos. Linda Klaus, what is the best way to can chicken? I personally have been canning chicken a long time, and I like to raw pack my chicken, fill the jar up with water or broth, and if it's a pint, I do a half teaspoon or a little less of sea salt. If it's a quart, I do a teaspoon of sea salt, and then I pressure can for 90 minutes. And I'm usually very happy with it. And then when I open it up, I can do all sorts of different things with it. So I like the raw pack method. And I like definitely having water in there, because a lot of times when I'm doing chicken, I want the chicken broth for things. So that's why. Carpenter Self-Reliance. He got his 921 today. I know it's a big day.
It's a very big day.
Very big day. Capone Cabin. I raw pack, but don't use any liquid. It seems to make it own. Yes, it does, but it draws the liquid out of the meat. And I really like if I'm making chicken, I'm going to make gravy and potatoes with it. So I like a little more broth.
And a lot of times we use our canned chicken for like chicken and dumplings.
Right.
So that extra broth actually helps because
Yes.
you want it anyway.
Oh, the garden. Hi. So Becca, I don't think you saw my live earlier today, did you?
No, you had a live earlier?
I did, but just for a few minutes, and then YouTube kicked me out. And I couldn't get my phone to work very well to get back in.
School pickup lines.
It was in school pickup lines, yes. So I'm going to go. There's a whole bunch of more people in here. Hi, Josh. There's a whole bunch more people in here. So I'm going to go over the exciting news that I posted today. So my live that I streamed for just about 10 minutes was my 400th video posted to YouTube. Well, YouTube considers my 400 because I have those other 20 out there. So YouTube calls it my 400th video. Our watch hours have rolled over to a new digit. So I only need 395 watch hours.
That's it?
Yes. But the really big news that I was telling everybody before you came in is that as of last night, I've had 175,000 views on my channel.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. It's crazy that I haven't got my numbers for the other things, and I've had so many views. But those shorts don't count.
Right.
And my train shorts and a lot of these videos do not count. Okay, so Carpenter Soft Reliance had a really good question. How long will the lids last while stored in the box? Around here, there's plenty of lids, but no jars. I'd like to get about 100 boxes of lids to stockpile 50 regular and 50 wide mouth. I had some my sister gave me that were my mother's that were from the 1970s, and I used them this year. So as long as the rubber is still good, you keep them in conditions that are good for the rubber. So you want to keep them in a cool, dry place. And so as long as you're not, keeping them in some, because I know you live in the South, it can get pretty hot there. So as long as you're not, keeping them where it's going to get super hot and it's going to melt that rubber, which I think would be very hard to do anyway. But I'm just going to say, keep them in a cool, dry place. They should keep for at least 20 years, maybe 30. Josh says, hi, Becca.
I saw that.
Gina's in here. Oh, Cosmic. Did I miss Cosmic? Oh, Mrs. Cosmic Cultivators. There she is. I said hi to How to Garden. Capone Cabin's here. Linda Klaus is here. I'm going back up through everybody for Becca. Charlotte Jerome. Hi, H. Tiki. And Louis Master Mateo. I love saying his last name.
I would butcher it.
I had practice with saying it because I know someone whose last name is almost identical to that.
I know. You've told them before.
Little House in the Big Woods is here. Thank you. Thor Haven, hi. Thank you. Yes, much better day today. My cousin came over and Redneck fixed my car. So literally my pressure hose is held on with expensive duct tape, the flex tape. So the pressure hose to my power steering has been flex taped, and then it has 2 hose clamps on it. So if there is an emergency, I can drive my car with this Redneck modification until he can actually fix the pressure hose I bought and put on it. But it's a 2-hour job, and it goes way down behind the motor, and he didn't have a lift. I've got to take it. I had to get a Redneck to get to his garage where there is a place to get up off of it.
He just didn't look in the right place.
So, no, that hook's on the top and then it goes down.
He didn't look in the right place.
Oh.
There's a lift right behind the car, the yellow car.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You shouldn't have took a nap. Then he would have fixed my car.
I told him that I could unlock the garage if he needed anything.
Yeah.
He's just blind. He's a man.
He is going north and going snowmobiling.
More power to him.
So he's got a thing. Oh, Fishes is here. Hi, Carol.
Thor Haven. Yeah. Sometimes.
That's right. The flex tape is as good as welding. He bought a car, he said, that had a hole in the transmission pan, and he flex taped it and drove it for another couple of years before he had to change and put transmission fluid in it, and it was fine. So, apparently that flex tape is as good as the advertising. If they want to sponsor me, I am available. I will show you my lovely thing. I took some pictures of it because it's amazing. Redneck ingenuity. That's right. You can not only can you make a canoe out of that stuff, Carol, but you can use a screen door to make that canoe. Yeah.
I've seen that commercial too.
That's kind of fun. But does anybody have any other questions? I have 4 videos coming out Well, not all of them are coming out this week. I did 4 today. The Blackberry Jam came out today that I did yesterday. Hey, Mr. Cosmic Cultivators is in here now. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Peace, love, and happiness. So the Blackberry Jam came out today accidentally on the same day as the cookbook review for the air fryer that I did. Built on the Rock is here. Hi, thank you. Just listen along. That works too. And then the blueberry pie filling comes out tomorrow that everybody wanted from the poll. And then I have 2 coming out at Christmas that are cranberry related, because if I don't get the cranberries out of the refrigerator, I think Becca's going to get really angry with me. They're getting a little old. They've been there since Christmas. Good thing those things keep forever under refrigeration, I swear. But it is time to get them. I've done cran apple juice with them. I've done 2 cranberry videos with them. I did the Christmas jam video, which will come out in December. I did something else with the cranberries. What else did we do? So we've got cranberry videos covered. If you find them on sale next fall. Grabbed an OJ, 89 cents a carton. Yeah. Yeah. 15-minute water bath. Yep. Orange juice. 15-minute water bath. Yeah. If they're the no pulp or low pulp, it's a little bit better, because if you get too much pith in there, sometimes they get a little bitter. But if it's the no pulp, yeah, I'd be at 89 cents a carton. I'd be snapping those up. I already have an elderberry jam up. Yes, it would work for the others. You just exchange the fruit. You use the same volume of fruit to sugar. But I will be coming out with a strawberry jam probably next week. I do have a very special strawberry jam recipe already, and you could just leave out my special ingredient, because sometimes I do if I don't have it, and make it. But I do have another really good strawberry jam recipe that I usually bribe people to do things with me for. No pulp, perfect. No pulp orange juice would be perfect to can in 15 minutes. And Charlotte has a question. Can you reuse pickle jars with, oops, where'd it go?
Rubber made inside to can something else.
I know, I just wanted to put it on the screen because the live chat doesn't always show.
Oh.
So
I thought you had lost it, so I was trying to read it for you.
It did zoom up, but I was trying to click on it, so that's why I paused.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I reuse my pickle jars all the time for water bath canning. As long as they have that seal in the inside, I will use them. And I often use them for things like dry goods that I just want to keep on the shelf. Oh, yes. I went to a Mennonite store today and had lots of lids. They also have the Superb lids, so I grabbed them to try. I actually got to do in the trial to see if the Superb lids were good enough to hit the market. And I have only had one lid fail, and that was 100% my fault. I was trying to see if I can make it fail. And I used a lot of fat in my jar, and I didn't leave the appropriate headspace. And I did that on purpose. And then I took away the fat, wiped the rim, reprocessed it, and I also wanted to see if I could reprocess the lid, and it sealed immediately. So again, it was all my fault, and I did it on purpose, and I found out the answer to my question. Yes, I can reuse them. Patty's here. Thank you for coming in. I hope everything is okay with you. I hope you're doing well. My blackberry jam set pretty good, actually. But I am very generous with my pectin. I don't get the box pectin. I get the bulk pectin from the Amish grocery store because it's so much cheaper. And I use heaping tablespoons instead of flat level measured table. tablespoons. So I usually have a pretty good set rate. Yes, you can reuse them multiple times if you take really good care of them. Yes, I really do reuse my lids a lot, especially if I'm going to water bath something. You always, when I'm doing meat, try to get a brand new lid for that. But if I'm not doing meat, I will reuse the lid. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one there. Citric acid and salsa mix, white vinegar, lemon juice. Make sure you have lemon juice, and if you want to do jams and jellies, make sure you have pectin. Another thing to make sure you have is clear gel.
Salsa mix?
Yeah, you probably got it, Mrs. Wages. Yeah. Becca's over here making a funny face because she makes her salsa from scratch. She has a wonderful... I keep clicking on you, Vicious. I don't mean to. She has a wonderful salsa recipe, but she's not exactly sharing her recipe with the world just yet.
Just says you for the right price. I could give it up to anybody.
Oh, okay. Virginia Roots is here. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I checked the rubber on the lids. Make sure that it is good. It's not peeling. No rust. Yes. All good advice there. So, it's a good question. There's two schools, and if you grew up using one kind, you swear by it. If you grew up using the other kind, you swear by that. I grew up using the powdered pectin. I have never used the liquid pectin in years and years and years. We used to be able to get Certo liquid pectin here. A lot of people in the South swear by Pomona's. I would have to drive an hour to buy Pomona's pectin if it was in stock in the store. And so I've just never tried the liquid. I prefer the powder because that's just what I grew up using. But either one is supposed to work really well. And in fact, for low sugar foods, a lot of people say that the liquid works better. But I don't have any experience. Hey, there's... Oops. Arizona Highland Homestead. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I think it's a very regional thing. You know, I know you're the South, but you're not exactly the same South. Florida's its own South. I know, I used to live there. We're talking to Josh. So, yeah, I like the powdered pectin. The thing with powdered pectin is to make sure that you have a real full rolling boil, and you sustain that rolling boil for the whole, 1 to 5 minute time, whatever it says for the product you're doing on the package. Make sure you do the full rolling boil. A lot of people try to skip, or they don't understand what a real rolling boil is, and that's where I think a lot of people go wrong. They fail with the pectin. Unfortunately, it's usually operator error, not product error. So that's right. Florida is south of South. Definitely.
Yes.
It's below the South. That didn't sound right either. But you know what I mean. It's a whole nother South.
The only issue that I found with powdered pectin is it not mixing in all the way. You got to really make sure it mixes in good.
Yeah. I've
never really used liquid either. I found a few recipes that call for it, but I've never used it.
And I do have a conversion. I should probably do a video on that, where you can what the conversion is. If the thing with the liquid, you add the pectin before you add the sugar, or the sugar before the pectin, and then with the powdered, you do it the other way. And I could never remember. I just always follow the recipe. Have I ever canned goose? No, I have not. I love geese, and you know that. So no, I have never canned goose. I have wanted to can pate foie gras, which is goose liver. I have always wanted to can that. I just have never had enough goose liver at one time to make it worthwhile. South Florida is the southern New York mixed with multiple Latin and Caribbean cultures. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah.
No argument. They have some great food, just saying. Josh's poor goose. He must have been naughty again. Did you get goosed by the goose? Looking for ideas to deal with these geese, Josh? Dry smoked. No, those geese are my friends. I love those geese. Okay then. We're going to go whole roasted goose. Uh-oh. Somebody has not been good on your farm. Uh-oh. Oh. And P Ranch snuck in. I did not see them to say hi. Oh, there they are. Good evening. I finally made it. Welcome, welcome. We are taking canning questions and celebrating some milestones. We still have a few to go, but hopefully this live here will help get us a little bit closer to that mark. I'm hoping. So, but I don't know if everybody heard me when they first said it, and then I said it again for Becca, but there's a few new people in the chat, so I'm going to go over it again because I'm so excited. But today I did a quick live because I noticed that if I got one more video in, it would be my 400th video. And then YouTube kicked me out of it before I was done talking. How rude. Mm-hmm. And I was doing it through YouTube, not through StreamYard, so it was definitely YouTube. But I was also on the pickup line, so maybe something happened to my internet. But I still had my phone internet. It was weird. I only need 395 watch hours. And last night, when it rolled over this morning and I looked at it, I am now at 175,000 views. So I'm very, 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 very happy about that. I wish they weren't mostly shorts so that some of that time counted. So, Carol, rattlesnake is wonderful. I have not had iguana. It is one of the few things I have not had. Probably because it was not there when I was in Florida. They didn't invade till some hurricane later. So I have not had iguana. But rattlesnake is quite delicious. And I don't know if I had it canned. Shift Kicker is here. Welcome, welcome, Shift Kicker. Thank you for the applause. I'm excited. I'm just really trying to get to my last 395 hours. I would just, it's not that I'm going to get anything because I don't think I make long videos enough to have a lot of advertising. But it's like I want to reach this milestone. I want to get there, get that. I'll say that I've got my 4,000 hours and monetized and can do some things. I'd like to do some private videos with me canning live, but I don't know. All sorts of ideas. But is there anything anybody would like to see me do a video of? So if there's something, you have a suggestion, I would love to have some suggestions. I've been making videos every day since the middle of November, and I'm getting a little burned out on ideas. So there would be some wonderful ideas, or at least I know I'm making things you want to see. I have a few ideas. What is... What should talk about? Oh, yes, Carol. Pectin is made from apple skins. Both the powdered and the liquid is made from apple skins. I've actually canned my own liquid pectin and learned how to make it for myself. I just have so much powdered on hand, I've never used it. But I do have some in canning jars. Becca, how much powdered pectin do I have right now? She won't let me buy more lemon juice. She's very mean. I snuck a lime juice in the cart last night because it was only 50 cents at the dollar store on clearance. I've already used half of it.
Yeah, and that stupid thing.
Well, wait till you see the video. We left the blooper in. Not only did I squirt myself with the lime juice, but somebody else thinking they could do it better than me.
I was trying to help you with 2 hands.
I know.
And you only had 1.
I was trying to hold the camera, do the lemon juice, squirt it in there. Lime juice. And then Becca decided to help me, and I left the blooper in. So you guys, spoiler alert, there's a blooper in the middle of the blueberry pie filling, but you guys would probably enjoy it as much as we did. It's real life, okay? Do I ever can milk? Yes, I do. Yeah, we had a ton of milk given to us during this whole school is shut down, and they're going to
start of COVID. They started sending home milk cartons for the kids from school, and we had at one point I had an entire shelf in my fridge that was full of them because nobody could drink them fast enough, and so
one week they gave me a gallon of milk for each child.
Yep,
and I mean my kids drink milk, but not that much milk.
Right.
So
at one point, I think we had canned up the equivalent of like 20 gallons.
Yeah. In pints. Yeah. It is the easiest thing to can. Yes. It is so easy. And it's my most popular video.
Yossi's in the house.
I'm going in order over here. LJT Mini Homestead. Hi. I need to redo it because my kid wiped the footage off. But I do have it in jars, and I have shown it on my lives. But I need to redo the video. Somebody keeps eating the bananas before they get spoiled.
The monkey.
Nessie, the little one. She loves it.
There's a reason she's the monkey.
Yeah. Yep. Are we seeing shortage? Oh, yes. Cornmeal has been hard to do in larger packages.
Try it if you have a local Mexican grocery. Try there, because that's like here. It's not a big thing in like the bigger stores. Like Walmart doesn't carry it or anything. They just carry the little tiny bags,
like a half-pound bag is all. Our Walmart carries.
And so try the local
we have
Mexican grocery, Hispanic grocery.
Yeah, we have a large Hispanic population in our area, and there's a grocery store, and I go there first for a lot of things because they're so much cheaper, especially my spices.
Yep.
If I'm not afraid to grind it, or I'm not afraid to try to figure out what it is in Spanish,
or an Amish grocery too.
My 1 year of Spanish is coming very handy in there. Yes, Amish groceries are also a really good place for finding stuff like that in bulk if you're next to one of those.
Yes.
But we are also seeing shortages on all sorts of things. I went to the grocery store, and our Walmart has a real hard problem with keeping frozen food stocked, and has for the last year and a half. And it seems like they've also pulled a lot of chicken out already out of our market now that there was some stuff about that on the news, which I found very frustrating. And then it's just sporadically weird things. Like one time we went into the grocery store and there was no juice on the shelf. And it was like, why do they have all this pop and all this other stuff and everything else is stocked and they don't have any juices? It's just kind of weird. So I've just been really trying to stock my pantry with the things I use and have a couple ahead. It's hard. And it's weird stuff.
It is weird stuff.
Okay, I can do that. I could do some stuff like that. I have some what I call canning 101 videos that talk about basic things that everybody should know in canning. I did one on, why you need a canning funnel and kind of stuff like that. So I could do one about just talking people through how to can for the first time. I have several apple trees, Virginia says she does, and it would be cool to see a Pectum demo. Okay, when it gets closer to apple season, or if I happen to get a bunch given to me, I will do an apple pectin video. And you do know you need green apples for that. So, and by green, I don't mean Granny Smith. I mean little green apples that, like, you could use the apples that fall off your tree before they're ever good and ripe. Those have more pectin in them than a ripe and ready to eat apple. FYI.
I wonder if we go to a local orchard.
You could. Also, crab apples are really high in pectin. I made my pectin with crab apples.
Oh, I've never made it.
I just did it once to see if I could do it and if I liked it. And I had so many apple skins left over from doing crab apple jelly. I have done chocolate cake, I've done cornmeal, and I've done banana cake recently in the last year and a half. I like the kind that comes in a can and I put in the refrigerator. I just bought one from Dollar Tree.
It was 50 cents.
It was 50 cents. I really just want something that has the right acidity that's going to keep my fruit from turning brown in the jar. I'm not really looking for the flavor for it, but I do like the lime for blueberries better than lemons. That's why I wanted the lime. Oh, I love mulberry jam. How to Garden is hoping to make some mulberry jam this year. And you're jarring up your honey tomorrow? Nice.
I was really surprised. We drove through a certain town in our area, and my child commented on all of the maple taps that they have out.
Oh.
She's like, Mom, are they gonna make maple, or is everybody making maple syrup? And
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes, they are.
kind of. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh. I'm like, how do you even know what that is? And she's like, oh, we read a book about it in school.
Good.
Like, okay then.
All right. Now I'm caught up to where you were. Yossi's here. Yay, Yossi. And it's 2:30 a.m. where he is right now.
Go to bed.
Yossi, you need some sleep. But thank you. Thank you for being here and supporting me. Yeah, apple trees do not do well where they don't have a winter. Milk, Virginia, milk is so easy. Let me tell you right now how to do milk. It's that easy. You bring your milk up to room temperature. You pour it into your pints. I don't know how to do it in quarts because I only do pints, because most of my recipes I'm going to bake with call for 2 cups. I don't want to open a quart anyway. So all I've been taught is how to do it in pints. You put it in pints. You wipe the rim.
Do not wipe it with vinegar. You will have spoiled milk.
Don't make cheese. Do not use vinegar. Use water. Wipe the rim with just a damp cloth with water on it. A lot of people forget that. Put the lid, put the ring on. Fill your canner with jars. Put the appropriate amount of water in your canner, according to your canner's manufacturer's instructions on how much water you need. Seal your canner. Vent it for 10 minutes. Like you know, turn it on. Let it vent for 10 minutes like you ordinarily would to can anything else. Now, here's another trick about milk. I am at 10 pounds of pressure for my altitude. Milk is an exception to the 10-pound rule of pressure for my altitude. You only have to do milk at 5 pounds of pressure instead of 10. So if you were at a higher altitude, you might do 10. If you're at lower altitude, you still only use 5. Okay? 5 pounds of pressure. Put the 5 pounds of pressure weight on after it's vented for 10 minutes. Bring it up to 5 pounds of pressure. When it comes up to 5 pounds of pressure, the time you do your milk is 0. So up to 5 pounds of pressure, shut the heat off. Do not walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Do not do anything with your canner until when you touch your canner, it is back to room temperature, regular touch. So yes, there's a little bit of wait time, but there's not any cook time. As soon as your canner is cool to the touch and not hot anymore, open it up, take your jars out, set them on the counter, let them seal. They probably have already sealed in the canner, and you are done. It will turn a little bit like condensed milk color.
It's a little brown.
Yeah,
It's like a caramely color more.
Well, you're caramelizing the milk sugars. So it has a little bit more of a color, a little bit of a creamer color than, it's sweetened condensed milk color, not just a white milk color. And that's it. That's it. So it's a little more time consuming because of the waits between doing loads if you only have one catter, but it's really one of those things where you only have to watch it at the start and then shut it off and you're done. I wish I could grow a banana tree or an orange tree or a grapefruit tree. Nothing up here where we live.
We could probably get some grapefruits.
Trees?
Grapefruits.
Okay.
When Aunt Salad comes back from Florida, she'll bring some. She's got a grapefruit tree back there.
Tell her to bring oranges too.
Okay. They usually do when they come back in the spring.
When you grind up unpopped popcorn, that becomes cornmeal. Yes. There's actually different kinds of corn for cornmeal. But yes, you could use popcorn. It'll just take a lot more of it than the other kinds. But thank you for doing a video. I wish I had a grinder. I need to get a flour grinder. Oh no. Her daughter's allergic to the citrus pollen and can't eat much of it. Love cherries. I love cherries too. We live very close to the largest cherry producers in the outside of Washington State. There's a way to put it. Yossi, you can help me. Thank you, Yossi.
You know Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, geez.
He's very talented. I'm pretty good with my Spanish as far as foods go and swearing goes. And I can understand it better than I can speak it, and I can read it very well. So I'm pretty good. But mostly I can understand it better than I speak it. Because I took so much French that my Spanish tends to get all conglomerated with my French.
Maybe Yossi and I need to speak Spanish to each other.
Maybe that would improve your Spanish.
Yes. I've been wanting to get better. I took Spanish in high school and was so excited. And then my teacher was a jerk and I still have a grudge against him. And it's been 20 years.
I know.
Not yet.
I know. I remember passing him on the street.
Yes.
I know. Your grudge is still not.
The look on his face, though, was priceless.
Yeah. Ooh, their Aldi was out of lunch meats.
Ours is, oh my gosh, we went to Wally World the other day and the whole wall was completely empty.
Huh.
There was nothing. Remember, you were with me.
Yeah.
We went to get ham for pizza.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The whole wall was completely empty.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, there were so many things missing that day.
Yeah.
It was like the truck didn't come in or something. It was really.
Well, I know that our local Walmart has had a big issue. It's not necessarily the supply. It's they don't have people to stock the shelves when the trucks come in.
Yeah.
They're having a staffing problem.
Yeah. Chicken and pork chops have doubled in price in the last 6 weeks there. Yeah, that's why you need the canner, because
we've seen an increase too, but not quite double. And it really depends on where you go, because Walmart meat has always been more expensive, and if you go to the local mom and pop places, you can still get it really cheap.
Well, I didn't learn my swearing in school, LJT. I worked for 23 years in the operating room with foreign surgeons. I can swear profusely in most languages. I don't necessarily use those words myself, but I can certainly understand anything regarding my mama in combat boots, especially in Italian, because I first learned to swear in Italian loudly, and then several other languages and even a couple dialects from India. So yeah, it's the wizard is here. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, I learned swearing from native speakers. Oh, Yeah. One of the job hazards of my former job. Yeah. Or, they also taught us other, like, things in other languages. I mean, so that was always good. Although I don't have much use for the names of all the surgical instruments in German. But hey, if I ever have to do surgery with a German-speaking doctor, I might be able to understand what he's asking for.
That's funny.
Well, whatever makes them the most comfortable in a stressful situation.
Exactly.
But anyway, I've been having some good news today. My car is now redneck back together with flex tape, and I reached 175,000 views on YouTube last night.
We're just gonna hope I don't get stuck under the car if I can fix it.
Yeah. Becca's threatening to fix my car.
Hey,
which,
my husband would not let me fix my own brakes the last time. I was very upset. He told me 9 months pregnant was too far in my pregnancy to be fixing brakes. I told him he was full of crap. He won.
I come from a family of licensed mechanics, so although I know how to do many things, I kind of refuse to do it myself. I don't want to mess it up and have to pay for the parts twice.
That's why I call 1-800-DAD.
Yes, multilingual areas, the kids teach kids. Yes. That's awesome, though, to be able to be truly bilingual. I am formerly fluent in French. I took 4 years in high school and a year in college, and I went to France and stayed with a family. So I'm formerly fluent in French, which really helps me with all the other languages that are in that family of languages. And I also took Spanish in high school. Oh, you're looking up a flour grinder for me?
I am.
That is not very expensive, but you want to look and see if it's a steel or a stone ground.
It's a Victoria.
Okay, it's Victoria. It's a good name brand. What's the specification? You can adjust it. That's good.
I have a grinder for more capacity, heavy duty, made of cast iron.
But what are the plates, the grinding plates? You can use it for
anti-erosion, white iron for maximum durability and performance on all types of grind.
Okay, does anybody know anything about white iron for flour grinding mills? This one is a Victoria. Click that one on the save that one. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. It's her that's adorable, but that's because she's 6 months pregnant.
Am I?
Just about. Gotta be.
23 weeks.
Oh, yeah. March to April, April to May, May to June. You have 3 months left. 3 minus
So
9.
technically,
9 minus 3 is 6.
But technically, pregnancy are 10 months.
Well, I don't know.
I love kids.
That was not appropriate. Thank you. If I have to, I can cut that out. Because I'm not very happy that somebody went by playing something else in the background. Lovely children. Lovely children. Does this count as commentary on that if I'm not happy that my children don't respect me when they do stuff like that?
I'm putting a link to this flour grinder. See if maybe anybody can look at it.
Okay. Yeah, does anybody know anything about that one?
I mean, it's got like 2,000 reviews. Mm-hmm. And it's all 4.5
stars. I would love one.
I may buy one.
Well, it's definitely something to have on hand, especially considering the problems we had getting flour at the beginning of things.
Barley, grains, coffee, cheese, vegetables, nuts, coconut, spices, cooked meats, etc.
Grinding up cheese. Yes, canning definitely pays off. Definitely pays off. I mean, I like, I save a lot of money like canning mushrooms. We like pizzas. We make homemade pizzas, so it's nice to have some home canned mushrooms for that. Because they're so expensive to buy the little cans. So. Josh says you want one that's all metal. This is cast iron, and then plates are cast iron, or iron. They said some sort of iron. What did it say? White iron? The plates are white iron. Callahan's Town and Country. Thank you so much for coming in. Last summer was the first time you canned anything. I love it now. Yes, I love having fast food on my shelf and being able to make things quickly for my family. You know, tonight they were all having something else that I didn't like, so I made myself a can of lamb stew. I had a pint, and so that worked out really good for me. We did, in the last 2 days, because we canned twice, we did 7 quarts of blueberry pie filling. So now, when we want a pie, it's just a few minutes. Instead of having to go through and doing all the other stuff, it's all done up. And my sister was so excited. She came over, and I think she was pretty excited about all the goodies she got sent home with.
Oh, yes.
So, ooh, yes, burritos in the jar.
We have had to hide them in our house because the kids eat them all.
I have teenage boys, and they just won't stay out of them. Oh, Virginia is canning a lot of canned protein. Wonderful. Yeah, I think we should all have some of that on our shelves right now. Personally, right now, canning is better than having a savings account at the bank, because the way prices are doubling, if you can can now and they double the price again, you just saved twice your money. You're not going to get that kind of return at a savings account. Just saying. Josh says stainless is the best for the price, but for that price, I might get it. Yeah, I have not seen one that low. Usually they run about $100 to $300. So I've never seen one for that. LJT has been canning all the meat sales. Freezer is full, but grab a jar if you're in a hurry. Exactly. I mean, I like frozen meat too, but I also like having canned meat because it's quicker when I want to make something in a hurry. Or if I want to make a casserole.
The other thing I like about canned meat versus like frozen meat is that with frozen meat, yeah, you can cook it pretty decently fast, especially like ground burger, but it gets that freezer burnt taste after a while, and it's just not very good.
Well, you don't get freezer burnt with canning.
No, so. Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't get that with the canning.
Virginia. Oh my goodness. Capone Cabin at Virginia Roots. I'm addicted to canning. She teaches it locally. It's very addicting. But she had to learn. Her grandma was a Kurd. Very cool. I'm very, very jealous. Have you canned chicken legs? Yes, I have. I find they don't stay on the bone very well. But it's easy to pack them in. One upright, one down. One upright, one down. So they pack really well in a jar. And again, I do put a lot of water on top for broth, because when I'm using them, I'm going to want broth. Oh, wow. Lewis did a marathon canning session, canning chicken, and he got 10 1-liter jars. Lewis is from Canada, so they measure things in liters, not quarts. Josh, first you need to be very, very good. If you're going to learn to can on a fire, you need to know very well how to regulate that fire. It is not hard. I water bath a lot when I go camping because I forage. And so we water bath can a lot while we're out camping in the summer. Everybody used to be like, you're supposed to go camping to be on vacation. Why are you doing this? But it's very easy to water bath. But pressure canning, you have to know your woods and how hot they burn. and you have to have a big bank of coals you can move back and forth to keep your pressure up. So it is not easy to pressure can, but it can be done. But again, not very easy. Hey, the inquisitive farm wife is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Yes. Keeping your fire consistent is something you've got to be really good at before you start doing it. I go every summer and the camp cook for a wilderness camp. And so we're cooking all of our meals 3 times a day. I am cooking all of our meals for up to 40 people 3 times a day over the open fire. They get a little, I don't know how to put this, a little grumpy with me because I demand that I don't have any punky wood because I don't want my food to taste funky. I don't want my food to taste like pine tar, so I don't want any soft woods. I want really good oak or hickory or a fruit wood. I'm not going to cook for people and make it miserable. So I really, really, really try to find things that they would like. I don't know what you mean, Inquisitive Farm Wife. Is there a link to join? I'm not monetized, so I don't have a membership yet. There is a Facebook group, and all of my standard videos have the link to the Facebook group in the description. My Facebook group is called Rebel Canners on Facebook, and it has 100,000K. I'm also on MeWe, but I don't put that link out usually. So, I hope that answers your question. If it the live, you are in the live. Oh, that link. Oh, yes. I'm with you now. Just a minute. I will put the link down here. Yes. If you want to come up, yes. Come on up. There you go. Yeah, if you want to come on up, come on up. Sorry. Yes, you can do very well on a propane camp stove. Works very well, just like a gas stove. It's easy to regulate. A lot of people use like a Campmore stove outdoors to cook on because then they don't heat their houses in the gardening hot season. I put a lot of my stuff that like fruits I'm going to make into jams and jellies. I'm canning that right now because it's a double bonus for me. It heats my house. So yes, you can on a turkey fryer, but Josh, you can warp your pressure canner doing that. And so you're not going to want to use a turkey fryer burner unless you have a little regulator that you get from the propane company to tone that down, or you can actually ruin your canner. Hi.
Hey, I'm so excited. It worked. I've been trying to do this with you forever.
Yay. Sorry, I'm a little dense. I didn't know what you meant there for.
No worries. Oh, this is a glue stick, by the way. I'm crafting. Sorry.
I am also in the craft room.
That's awesome.
Dueling craft glue sticks.
Yes.
Yeah, we're coming to you live from, I don't know if you can see Becca's craft room. It's kind of cluttered back there.
You don't want to go in my craft room right now. It's a real hot mess.
A lot of work gets done in here and a lot of fun.
Yes.
Okay, Yossi, what does Yossi say? White iron, raw iron, or cast iron in which all the carbon is bound in the forms of cementite, iron carbide, Fe, and free of graphite. Okay. A section of white iron shows a white crystalline structure. All right. We were talking about flour grinders, and Becca found one online, and she was asking people if they knew anything about that kind.
Okay.
Oh, here's Lewis. Hi, Lewis.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I think I just upload. I think my cell phone there says it's uploaded, but it might take a little bit for that video to upload for that chicken soup. I made it from scratch.
Ooh,
So
nice.
yeah, homemade bone broth with some water in there. And then I put vegetables in there. The only thing I didn't put in there was carrots because I don't have carrots in the fridge, but I got pressure canned carrots. So I'll just add them later.
Just open yep. Just open them when you're heating it up and pour them in.
Yeah, and then same thing with potatoes. I don't do pasta or rice or spices in my cans. I'm not that rebellious, but
okay. Well, I don't do that either. I have, like, if I'm doing leftovers, I'll can them, but I don't deliberately put them in anything except the burritos because they get too mushy. I like them more al dente. So I don't do that
when I make my soups or stews or whatever, right? It's like a soup-based thing, where it's got all the meat and vegetables and stuff like that in there. And then I decide down the road to put pasta or rice in there. If it's got potatoes in there, I'll add cornstarch.
Right.
To make it.
And the noodles and the rice are going to cook in the time it takes you to heat up the stew. Anyway, so why, especially with jars space being at a premium, why would I fill my jars with rice and take up more jars when I could just add it at the end when I'm cooking anyway? It never made sense to me.
Now, heaven forbid, I'm not that rebellious, but I am a little bit, right? But I heard that something to the effect of the heat not penetrating all the way through when you put the spices and stuff like that in.
Lewis, there's this company that does it every day of the week, 7 days a week, and they sell it on the store shelves. It's called Campbell's Soup.
Yeah.
And they put it in all of their soup. So as long as they can do it, I could do it if I wanted to. I just don't like it.
Darn tootin'.
That's right.
Yeah. No, like they probably got those big governmentally inspected and regulated pressure canners, where the government goes and checks every day.
Yeah, but they're not cooking it at a different temp or a different pressure than we are. So it doesn't matter that it's been inspected. If the temperature to burn your food, like to burn noodle soup, is still the same temperature. So they're not getting it any hotter than what we are, and they're not cooking it any longer, or it would turn to mush. So it's just that they don't want to test it because there's no money for testing it. But there is a lot of lobbying not to test it that provides a source of income for somebody somewhere, possibly. Not me. Hey, Tasha. Thanks for coming in. Don't judge.
Yeah, thanks for that. With dehydrating frozen vegetables. I put up a couple of videos of that.
Yeah. Isn't it so easy to do it that way?
Yeah. I put up a couple of videos on it, and some subscribers I kept on my channel were doing the message through the videos and that, and I must have been up half of the day or just checking messages, right? Are they from frozen? This, that, and the other? Or what do they feel like? What are they like when they're rehydrated and stuff like that, right? And it was my first time dehydrating stuff from frozen. I was like, I don't know. I'm using it for soups and stews and chilies, right?
Yeah, if you put them in soup and cook them like you would for a soup, they come right back.
Yeah, I'm sure that they would, because I've dehydrated apples and bananas and put them and elderberries and put them in yogurts and let them sit overnight, and they come back with like at nighttime I'll do it, and they're like by morning they're back to normal, right? The bananas get a little mushy, but it's yogurt, right?
I just found a new product I'm really excited about. You
Okay,
said
I'm
yogurt
gonna
and made
leave
me
for a
think of it.
minute at least
Okay.
because the dogs are crazy.
All right. Just,
Okay.
you'll be fine. Oh, she could have stayed up and just, oh well, she just. But I just found backpacker yogurt that does not need to be refrigerated until you open it. I did not know this thing existed. I'm going to check it out.
They have yogurt packs that they sell on the shelf in Walmart.
I've never seen them before.
I've got them for the girls that absolutely love them.
I've never seen it before. This
They're
is
like
the first time.
they're like the little applesauce packets, but they're yogurt.
Yeah, but that's canned and sealed up. This was just like a regular yogurt cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird. But it doesn't have active cultures, so.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned about yogurt not too long ago. I was a particular yogurt that was flavored, the laundry list of ingredients in it.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
I bought the same brand but unflavored, and it's only got 3 ingredients in it, and you can read them and you know what they are. As to where the other one, it's all mostly preservatives. And I'm like,
do you know how easy it is to make your own yogurt?
no, but I'm sure that it is.
Do you have a
Fairly.
crock pot?
Or an instant pot.
The slow cooker where you can plug it in and leave it in all day.
Yes.
Yeah, I got one of those.
You can make yogurt overnight in one of those.
Alrighty then.
You only need 2 ingredients: milk and a cup of the yogurt you like that's unflavored. So whatever brand you use that's unflavored, that has it has to say active cultures. You need a cup of that and milk. That's it.
And is it like 2 cups, or is it going to be more than 2 cups?
A lot more. You'll make more yogurt than. Please go out. A cup of yogurt culture will make a whole gallon of milk into yogurt.
Alrighty then. Wow, I didn't know that.
And then I take my canning pint jars, I put it in pint jars, and then you use the slow cooker to keep it warm for the right amount of time. And then you shut it off, put a towel over the cooker, and let it sit.
Alrighty then. That's something.
I think it's either 6 or 8 hours you let it sit, and then you take it out, you put it in the refrigerator, and it keeps in the refrigerator for a couple of months.
Yeah, that's the one thing, right? By the time the company makes it, and then by the time the grocery malls get it, you're looking anywhere from 5 days to about a month or 2 or longer, depending on what it is that's being sold, right?
Yeah.
So
it'll keep. I mean, you can actually eat it longer. It just gets really, really sour tangy.
Yeah.
The longer it sits. Bob in his basement. Bob 942. Hello. Welcome. He's still teasing me about the basement.
He's funny.
He is. He most definitely is. I love Bob. He's like my favorite uncle.
Yeah, I like see him up on panel, always cracking jokes.
Yeah. Always. I have I've done 4 videos today. 2 of them will be coming out this week, and 2 of them will be coming out at Christmas.
Sawyer's my hero.
What did Sawyer do?
He took my pie plate back to the sink for me. Wasn't he sweet?
Yes.
He was not very happy about it, but
I can make a video making yogurt. I've done it several different ways.
If you have an Instant Pot, it has all the yogurt directions on it.
Yeah. I like homemade yogurt better than store-bought, and I've been going through a ton of yogurt. Since I was ill there at Halloween, I've been really working up my gut health and trying to eat at least a couple of cups of yogurt every day. just to get the active cultures into my body. Yes.
Yeah, I never until the very first summer of this what's been going on the last couple of years. I was getting sick for no apparent reason, and they do blood work on me. Oh, it's nothing. Nothing's wrong with you, right? But they had to put I had to take a bag, like they put a needle in my arm to put saline in me and other stuff to stop puking. And lo and behold, it was just anxiety. And it's just happened over a couple of months, 4 or 5 times, right? And my doctor said it was, it's anxiety, it's normal. But at the same time, we were talking, I had to eat healthier, a bit healthier because I'm getting older. I'm 42, right?
Yeah.
And he suggested like yogurt and some other stuff too, right? I always thought it was a woman's diet food, kind of thing, right? Yeah, go ahead, and being the guy, right? And I never thought that active culture was actually good for your stomach.
They say that a large portion of your immune system is developed right in your stomach with the healthy bacteria we have in our digestive system.
Yeah, and I never thought of that. It never crossed my mind. Nothing, right? I just meat and potatoes and a couple of other vegetables, and then that's pretty much it, right? At
That's
the other
what
place,
I grew up on.
Yeah, and at the other place, there's fruit trees and a couple of fruits a day. Pick them off the trees, being a lumberjack, right? Oh, that's good enough. And then frozen foods, because I did work a fair bit of hours in the fall and spring, right? And fast food, right? Like from the grocery mall, like frozen pizzas, frozen dinners, right? When you're up at 5 o'clock and you're out the door with your equipment going into the fields at 5, and then you're not done until like midnight, 1 o'clock from maintenance and your sawing and your equipment and sharpening chains, right? What do you do, right? You know what I mean? When it's go, 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 and the farmers got to have their crops in at a certain time, and then when they get them out, to winter, you got 2 short periods to get into those fields and then get what you can out.
Yeah. Fish is right. Sauerkraut and homemade pickles, especially the fermented ones, are really good for gut health. Really good.
Yeah,
welcome, Green Granny, too.
All the stuff I've learned in the last 2 years, because I don't want to say I stumbled upon preppers, canners, off-gridders, homesteaders kind of thing, right? Like on channels like yours.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon them, and the first spring there, and what's been going on the last couple of years, and I've just been nothing but learning. And I've got in my YouTube library, I've got like, I don't know, thousands of videos of this, that, and the other, and the spices and the herbs. You do this, you mix this with this, and it does that. You mix this and this with that, and it does that,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our health comes from our nutrition.
Yeah, and
Bob, I'm not falling for the whole I've got it in my basement line again. I got down there and there was no lumpia. Sorry, Bob. You fool me once.
I bet you I can get her in my basement.
She really does have stuff in her basement.
I have good stuff in my basement.
I've been in your basement today.
I know. That's why I said I bet you I can get you in my basement.
Oh yes, kombucha. Be careful with the kombucha. I have not really gotten into kefir too much yet, but I can only do. I know people that like drink a whole like pint of kombucha at a sitting. I can only do a shot. It has some rapid effects on my gastrointestinal system that I don't want to be out in public when it happens. So I have to regulate myself to a maximum of 30 cc's of kombucha per day. So.
Yeah, if you're talking about what I'm thinking you're talking about, you might want to drink more and get into the bathtub. It's a natural way to make a bubble bath, redneck
Well,
style too.
I don't think it would be a bubble bath. It would be more of a mud bath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wish it were only bubbles, but it's not only bubbles. The
Yeah, I'm one of those
kombucha
rednecks. Yeah, I'm one of those rednecks up
kombucha
here
has vile yeast in it, and it can cause yeast infection in some people. I haven't had that problem, although I try to watch my sugar intake, and by really limiting my sugar intake, then I don't have as much problem with yeast infections.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put up a video. I got uh you guys were talking about cornmeal there. Unpopped popcorn, the popcorn that you put into the microwave and that. Uh Grind it up. I'm gonna put up a video once you're done on how to do that because I bought some popcorn from watching another channel and asked them, well, where do you get cornmeal? And I don't think it's sold very much. It's not a regular thing up here. So I did some research on it, and um, popcorn is your next best way to do it. So all it is making sure that it's grinded up in a powder like flour, pretty much. Because like, and there's the video I seen, he did it with a hand thing, right? For doing that, and he had to do it 3 or 4 times with the hand thing because it was like cracked corn and it was like this other type of corn, and they're all for different uses.
You have to sieve it. Do you have like a sieve or a flour sifter?
Yeah, I got one of those metal uh, things, like it's like a cup thing, and it's metal, and it does flour or stuff like that, right, to get all the lumps and stuff out
Yeah.
of there.
You run it through that, and whatever doesn't go through, you have to put through again.
Yeah, because he was doing something like that, and it was, I can't remember the whole video, but it was about a 5 or 10 minute video, and it was really in depth. He was pausing it every so often, right? Because he was doing the hand crank thing, and he wasn't going to videotape it 3 and 4 times, right?
But you can take the hand crank part off and get an adapter to make a hand crank a powered tool.
Yeah, drill.
Yeah.
That'll work.
We're back to the beginning. You were here at the beginning when I talked about how I've got my car rednecked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a field truck out, and somebody was taking a truck up to the scrap yard, and they knew I was in the wood industry, and this thing was rusted, like all to. But how I had it for a year was beyond me, and the back springs were welded together. I had I crashed it into the ditch, and the only thing that went on it was the radiator, because it was springtime, right? And I lost. It was two-wheel driving on the road without a license, right? So icy up, and the ditches, they're really deep, right, out here in the country, and they're filled with snow. And I went in there pretty good, and the rad went, and I put an SUV rad, which is like half the size of that truck's rad, was in there. Put a new alternator in there. The back gas tank was a dual tank truck, and the back gas tank wasn't working, and the front gas tank was leaking when it was like a quarter full. And I smoke, right? So, but it worked. It did its job for a year until I got a four-wheeler and a trailer, which did better than that truck did.
Yep.
Because it was so much lighter, right? With the trailer, it was one of those old farm wagons that had 4 tires, so you're spread out more with the weight.
My last garden video, you'll see the white F-250 in the back, and it has 2 gas tanks. One of them leaks. My son ran it into a tree, so it's now missing some windows. and it has a big dent in it. And before he ran it into the tree, I took the engine out of it because it was recalled and catching on fire, but it didn't get retailed until I replaced it and put an SUV engine in it. So
Yeah.
it is very redneck.
Yeah. Some of the redneck things, they actually do work, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Diggs, Josie now has a second channel. So he still has Josie in the Simple Kitchen, but he is doing Shed Wars under his gardening channel. So please subscribe to Josie on both channels if you haven't.
Yeah, this was the type of truck I had that, it wouldn't feel rubber on the asphalt, but you get it out in the field, you'd feel a strip 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Monk,
yes, you can Seton, which is wheat gluten, and in my Rebel Canners vegan and vegetarian group, they have quite a few good recipes for that. And the person who helps me by admitting that group for me is actually coming out with a cookbook on vegan and recipes, including a whole bunch of Seton recipes. And I probably pronounce it wrong, but I don't like to pronounce it the other way. I never know if it's, some people say it's call it Satan instead of Seton. I always pronounce it like it's spelled, not like it's supposed to be. I'm weird.
I have peeled out more times in my minivan. Well, I don't have a minivan anymore, but in my minivan than I have in our sports car. I'm like, that's pretty sad.
Monk, I have multiple groups on Facebook. I have the original Rebel Canners. I have the vegan and vegetarian Rebel Canners for people who never want to see pictures of meat being processed. You can certainly be welcome in both of those groups if you are interested in one kind of recipes and don't mind pictures in season of meat processing. I have groups for every state in the United States because I was going to do meetups. Some of them are grouped together because there wasn't always enough members to have a full group. So like there's Ohio, Virginia are grouped together, Midwest for a bunch of them, mountain states, sunshine. So that most of the regions are covered. A lot of states have their own group. We also have a group for the U.S. Virgin Islands and territories. We have the far north, which is for any states that are dealing with northern climates and have a different growing season than the southern states, but it's also for Canada. I also have a New Zealand and an Australian Rebel Canners group. I am not the admin of those two groups, but they did start from my Rebel Canners, and I'm very supportive of those two groups. So there's actually, and then I have Dinner Bells, which is frugal meals. That is just like how to eat on 15 cents a day kind of thing. And I started that because I wanted a place to save my recipes. So I actually have more Facebook groups than I know that I have on Facebook anymore.
Dehydrators.
Oh, Rebel Dehydrators, Rebel Bakers, Rebel Fermenters. We have a Rebel Praise and Prayer group because the Rebel Trading Group posts for selling. See, I don't even remember all the numbers. But we have a lot of really, really good admins, and some of them specifically admin one group for me and then come to me if there's a major issue or something.
Dehydrating, did we say that one?
We did dehydrating,
Okay.
baking.
Fermenting.
Oh, we have Rebels on the Go for people who want just meals in a jar. It started off of our group. I'm not the admin, but it started from our group. A woman whose husband was a truck driver, and they wanted things that they could put into a can. So we have Rebels on the Go, and there's Rebel Homesteaders, which is not mine, and then but it's off of my group. And then there is Rebel Home Remedies, which is started out of my group. I don't admin it, but I'm not the person who manages it, but I am one of the admins in it. It started off of our group, and that's for health things and home remedies. So there is a whole Rebel franchise out there. So Can you drop the link for the vegan?
I just did.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is.
And
Items. But Becca's going to drop some of the links to the Facebook groups. And then I'm also on MeWe. Everything that is posted on YouTube is also posted at Odyssey. For the people who don't want to use YouTube, they can go to Odyssey. So this live after this will be posted also on Odyssey. And I also do Instagram and Twitter. And I wonder why I have no time in the day.
Monk Monkey, we are or Monk the Monkey, I'm sorry. We are working on a master list. Currently we do not have one. So I cannot send you a link to all of them. But if you have any specific questions, you can look me up and message me on Facebook.
If you join the main Rebel Facebook group, the links to all the subgroups are posted in the group, in the pinned post. So, sorry, Louis.
Oh, hey, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm trying to. If I don't answer the question, I'll lose it all. So.
There. Why did I do that?
Welcome, Maccabeus Everyday Survival. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here with us. So, there's a lot of people I in the chat. We have 18 with us right now. That's kind of cool.
I see that.
So,
Yeah, that's always a good feeling, right? To have people like that many watching it. And even at that many, I've seen other channels where they got 500-600 people watching a live stream, and it's not that it's insane, right? It's like this, right? But they don't have the time like you do, where they can actually read all the comments and talk to 18 or 20 people, right?
And I try to respond to everybody if I can, and if I can't do it during this, I try to respond later too.
Oh,
yeah, even that, right? There's one guy I watch, and a couple of them, and they have a really hard time responding to everybody because, like I said, they got 500, 600, 700 people at any given time on a live stream.
Yeah.
And they just can't. They got homesteads or they're off grid or what have you, right? And they, like you and I, right? They just don't have the time. We need a garden. We need to do this. And unfortunately, sometimes those things take first priority, right?
Well, I am definitely making gardening a priority this year. Very much so. And I'm sure you are too. Yeah. Fisher, the Facebook group kind of took on a life of its own. And it's sort of been the driving force for the YouTube channel and writing the book and everything else I've done.
That's how I found you.
From Facebook?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, she froze. There she is. Yeah.
I found her on the side of the road.
I had my thumb out.
Craft group. That's how I actually met you, was craft group.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Becca is my adopted daughter. I just adopted her 2 years ago. She's in her 30s. Yeah. Mm-hmm. True story.
That's awesome.
But she adopted me as her mom, so that works too. So.
Well, you're two peas in a pod from what I've seen.
We get a lot. We have more interests in common than me and my actual mom ever did.
Oh.
I mean, not to get me wrong. Me and my mom were best friends. We were close. We did a lot of things together. I mean, I was either on the phone with her or whatever. I lived 200 miles away, and she knew where I was going. And my sister, who shared a yard with me, didn't always know where I was going.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was fun.
Thank you, Callahan's Town and Country. I am really close to my watch hours, so I really appreciate anybody watching any of my videos at all. I really appreciate it.
Sometimes I'll watch them over and over again, or start a list to try to watch it while I go do something else. Because I'm like, come on, you can make it.
I'm working hard on it. I keep putting out more videos. I couldn't get my watch hours till I got enough videos out there. Because, I mean, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, but I didn't really get serious about it until a year ago. And so, yeah.
Well, I have a lot to learn.
Yeah,
Don't
there's always something to learn.
Ollie, I would be glad to walk you through processing milk. So if you message me on Facebook Messenger or I don't know. What's the best way for you to communicate? I mostly communicate best through Facebook Messenger. But I will work with you however you need me to work with you. That's why I thought you were the one that said you didn't have it after I said that. So I was like, email. My email, the link to my email is on all of my regular videos. And after this, it'll be here. I don't want to say it on a live, but it's in my About page. If you email me, I will watch for it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, just email me.
I have canned milk. I haven't tried it yet.
It's so easy. And then I love canned milk because, like, right now, my cabin, I'm staying at Becca's for the winter, but my cabin doesn't have refrigeration.
Okay.
So I'm not going to have milk in my refrigerator, but if I want to bake something, I can go get a pint of milk because almost all recipes call for 2 cups of milk or less. So all I have to do is open one of those, and I can cook and bake and do whatever I need to do.
I watched a video where a lady took canned milk. It was store-bought, but whatever, and whipped it and then added Jell-O and preserves and made a dessert out of it. And I thought that was really cool. But I actually canned mine thinking I would make homemade creamer because I have cows and goats and I have milk fresh all the time. So I haven't had
jealous.
a need to,
So you're making some cheese videos soon, right?
I made cheese this week and I was like, why didn't I video that? But I was pushing the limits and I had over 5 gallons of milk in the pot. And I'm like, do I really want to video myself making a huge goof? Because I didn't know.
Because sometimes we learn from those just as much as we learn from successes.
I guess that's true.
I really hate it when my video coming out tomorrow, we left the bloopers in.
I have a video I'm editing right now. I decided later, I was like, well, I'm making butter this week too. So that'll be this next week's video likely. And there were some bloopers and I'm like, maybe I'll put those in at the end because they are kind of funny.
I just left them in.
Yeah.
Well, Gil, I haven't been getting my notifications either. So I had to go look the other day for a couple channels that I knew. I just was told they had lives, but I never got notifications. So I know they're kind of being weird.
Yeah, I not that I do or don't care about the notifications, but I'm always checking on YouTube to see if anybody's live and if anybody's not, or if anybody's put out a video or what have you, right? Because when I'm doing stuff, I always sit down to have a smoke, and when I sit down to have a smoke, I check YouTube. So.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I'm always kind of checking. I watch a lot of Chris Wyatt in Africa, and he has been going live like 5 times a day. So today, while I was canning, it's like, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm just watching a pot. I'm going to go see, and yep, he's live, and I'm watching his live, and that's pretty much where I'm getting a lot of my news right now because he's keeping me up to date with current events. Sometimes you just need to shake it back up because the milk fat, if you have like a lot of fat in your milk, it will separate, but just shake it back up. The other thing is make sure you don't wipe your lids with vinegar because it will curdle your milk.
Jeez.
Yeah, the acidy stuff.
Yeah. So you don't want to make cheese. You don't want to make farce cheese in the jar.
Although, fun fact, if you do have a recipe that calls for buttermilk and don't have buttermilk, throw a little vinegar in it.
Yes. That'll make milk and vinegar make sour milk, and you can use it in place of buttermilk.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going live, Gil. I'm going to go live every Thursday at 6:30 and every Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m. Yes, I'm doing another cookbook. It's actually all ready, but my publisher is having back surgery. And so that's kind of slowed it up. I haven't decided what to do. So I may just publish it myself. I'm trying to decide. But it is all ready to go out. I just haven't decided which way I wanted to go with it. So
I like that you're popping up the comments because this is my first time going on a live with you. And so I'm not sure what I'm doing. So I had to get my phone and I'm like trying to read comments and follow. That is so helpful because I can't see it on my laptop here.
yeah.
So, yeah.
You have to hit over on the far right at the top.
Uh-huh.
It says there's a little it looks like a chat. If you hit that, it'll split your screen and show comments on half of it.
Well, I tried that earlier and then you kind of went blank and I'm like, I didn't want to mess it up or whatever. So I thought,
I mean,
I'll just
I'm not
over
saying
my
it'll
phone.
always work because it hasn't always worked, especially StreamYard works better for that than Melon does. I can never see the comments on Melon. Yes, Gil, Eastern time. Yes, always Eastern time. Sorry, I know you're out there in the boonies, the West, but yeah. And I know it's not a great time for everybody, but it's the time that YouTube said most of my people are on. And I gave
time zones.
I gave a poll, and it was split 50-50 between Thursday night and Saturday morning. So I just decided to do both. So.
Yeah, those darn time zones.
Here's Yossi. He's in here watching us and talking in the chat over here, something else. But Yossi, it's like 3:00 in the morning right now. He should be in bed getting his rest.
He's in a lot of pain. He's not feeling good. He said that in the chat.
Oh, I missed it because I wasn't a question. So
that's why I'm telling you.
But yeah.
Okay, so here it's about 7 p.m. What is it for you, Tammy?
It's 8 p.m. here.
Okay, so you guys have had supper, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't even fixed anything, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna make? Something canned.
Peanut butter pie. That's what I have. Shit.
Is that? Oh, I saw you walk in with that pie, and I was like, what is that? Apple or?
So we have a crack dealer. Crack dealer is like what I call him next door, and he works for Nabisco.
Oh.
And so anytime my husband goes over there to do any work for him, or we go over there to help him because they have a pool and stuff, and sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, we just need to move it a couple feet," so we'll go over there and help him. Or my husband will help him. Whatever. Anyway, he's not very handy. He's very he's very geeky, kind of, I guess. So he's not very handy with stuff. So, and my husband is. So he'll call my husband for help. Well, especially for simple stuff. But anyway, he we'll send him home with boxes and boxes. We have probably 30 boxes of graham crackers. And my husband's like, we need to get rid of some of these. So he made peanut butter pie. Homemade peanut butter pie.
From scratch.
Yes.
Sounds amazing.
And it makes 2, and he made homemade crust too. So I've been enjoying the peanut butter pie.
Yes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bring it on.
I'm allergic to peanuts, so I'm staying far away from that.
Oh, no.
That's why I walked in and I was don't judge. I just walked by with my pie.
And I'm just over here looking. Yep. Giving her the stink eye.
Good pie.
Yeah, I feel sorry for anybody that's got
bartering.
I feel sorry for anybody that can't eat peanut butter. It's a good filler when shit hits the fan.
And I've always been able to eat it until this year. So, last fall, I started having problems.
Funny story about peanut butter. My husband started a new job this week, and he works with a couple of females. And there's 2 females in this entire shop. It's all men because it's a trucking company. And he comes in. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, I mean, I get allergies, but I just don't understand why anybody doesn't like peanut butter. Who doesn't like peanut butter? Well, one of the shop guys had given one of the girls some dark chocolate Reese's, and like a couple of days ago, and they're like, "Hey, how are those Reese's peanut butter cups?" And she's like, "I don't like peanut butter, so I didn't eat them." And he's like, "How do you not like peanut butter?" As he's eating a peanut butter egg.
That's hilarious. My grandma didn't like chocolate, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's wrong. That's so
Yeah,
wrong.
that's just really wrong. Yeah.
Maybe they fed her carob instead.
Carob is okay, but it's not a replacement for chocolate.
Okay, but when you think that it's chocolate and somebody tells you, "Oh, here, have a chocolate chip cookie," and you get a carob cookie, that was not.
She would eat a chocolate chip cookie. She just couldn't handle like a full Hershey's candy bar.
Right.
Like if it was with something else, she could do it. I still thought it was wrong.
Yeah. Diggs, Michigan is definitely in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So
I think there's like one little corner that is Central Time in the UP.
Oh,
over by Wisconsin.
I don't know. Because they're on their own time zone anyway.
Them Upers.
But the UP. Mm-hmm. Love them. I love them. I'm joking because my mechanic's going to the UP for the weekend. So we've been making a lot of UP jokes today.
I'm a troll.
I had another comment up here, but I missed it. Oh. Fishes had ice cream right after having to take lactate earlier for something else. Her dairy cravings have been strong today. Fishes, I made strawberry rhubarb pie filling. Sorry, the video will not be out for several months. But I have been eating that on ice cream every day for supper, and I've had that for supper tonight. So I can't really judge her about her pie because I had vanilla ice cream with rhubarb strawberry pie filling. It's a fruit and a
That's
protein.
right. Yes.
Oh, that's cute. Becca sat here and made a bow while we're talking.
That's fun.
And I just gotta glue my cup to it. Jackie can work.
Yeah. Gil was saying that he eats honey with his peanut butter so he doesn't have an allergic reaction to it. I might try that. I really like peanut butter.
Can you have other nut butters like cashew or sun nut or sun butter?
Other nuts are not bothering me. The only thing that I had the reaction when I had peanut butter M&Ms. And now when I eat peanut butter, I get a little tight in the throat. And being in the medical profession, I know what that means. That means I shouldn't keep
Just
trying
stay
it.
away.
I've already learned that. And I have a lot of allergies that I've developed in the last 15, 16 years. So I had no allergies. I was born with no allergies. I didn't have allergies until late in life. And now I have anaphylactic allergies to several foods.
Wow.
So that's another reason I can, because I'm allergic to iodine.
Oh,
and it's in everything.
You got to be careful of that if you get like into an accident or something too. I mean, iodine's kind of a thing they use in the medical field still, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with farm animals, when they give birth at the umbilical cord or...
Oh, yeah.
Or,
do you do that with your goats?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm just careful that I don't get it on me. I don't get a rash, or I don't have a reaction to it on the outside of me. Kind of. I have had some topical reactions, but I didn't realize until I was washing my hands with iodine in the medical field. That's when I found out I was allergic to it. So
I even use some iodine because I do some woodworking and I deal with knives almost all the time. Every time I cut myself, I'll use peroxide, then I'll use iodine on it right away, just on the cut there.
Yeah, but see, I can't do that anymore. If I get iodine on my skin, I don't get a rash, but I get like a migraine type reaction and I start throwing up. But
No fun.
if I eat seafood which has iodine, I could die. I have an anaphylactic reaction. So I have to be really careful. I don't want it on my skin. But it's not as bad as eating it yet. But I do carry an EpiPen just because of iodine. Carob is definitely not.
See, I've never tried it. Now I'm
I
gonna
was
have
definitely
to.
tricked.
Yeah, it's not a real. Oh, Britton Farms is here and I missed it. I'm sorry. Welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
Capone Gavin made a comment about making more videos, but he didn't have the time because he's building his house there. But you could always make videos on building your house there. A lot of people do it. They'll set up a tripod. Like some of my videos when I do stuff, they're an hour long or just over an hour. And I'll set my phone right by so you can see some of what I'm doing. And I'm just barely in the picture doing stuff. And I'll leave it there. Like last night, my video was like an hour or so long from doing the chicken soup. And you could see the pressure canner and the water bather where I had the soup in it, but I'll move it around, but I'll put it back, and do a whole cycle, like put everything in the mason jar, in the canners and everything, and put the lid back on, and boom. It might take extra 5 or 10 minutes to fiddle with the phone, right? But at the same time, my kitchen's pretty easy. I got a nice setup in there for canning. I'm not moving too far from everything.
That's good. I'm still kind of tweaking my setup for that because I'm never canning in my own kitchen right now. So that's kind of
Well,
hard.
one of the biggest things I found that there's a lot of different ways to sanitize your mason jars. I choose to use them in the oven so that I save electricity on
So you
boiling.
are a rebel.
Yeah, and I am, but there's always a few methods to doing stuff, right? But at the same time, if I'm using the oven, they're already sanitized and they're going to stay sanitized because I leave the oven on the whole time, right? And that's how you know you got good mason jars, because if they're in the oven at 275 the whole time, right, that you're opening it, closing it, plus for preheating and it's sitting there for 20 minutes, right? You got good mason jars. And then you put it in the pressure canner or the water bather, right?
Yes.
You got a good brand of mason jars. Because I got Harvest, the Golden Harvest ones, and the Brandlin ones up here in Canada.
Yeah.
And they other than maybe the odd lid failing on me, and I can maybe 2 or 3 failed on me, right? Never had a problem with them. Never.
Ollie the monkey. Seton is really great. It has great macros and high protein. Yes. And the other thing I was going to say about that, and I forgot, and I just remembered when I saw the comment come back up again. I live near a large population of Seventh-day Adventists, and they can a lot of Seton as textured vegetable protein. So it's pretty good cans. It's better canned than it is fresh. I'm not a big fan of textured vegetable protein, but I do like it in my chili. Belinda, Life with Belinda and Chuck is here. Welcome, welcome. My emergency bracelet is pretty big because it's mostly my family. I don't have one anymore. I had one for a while, but I just carry my EpiPen with me, and everywhere around here that I would wind up being treated at already knows my allergies. So.
Hey, Tammy, I want to say thank you so much for letting me get on. Maybe I'll try again another day, but I'm getting an important phone call I have to take. Bye.
I'm not going to be much longer anyway, so thank you so much for coming up. Thank you. Bye.
All right, see you later.
I'm behind on the comments again. Way behind, it looks like. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, guys.
I got to get a new. Pretty soon, I got to get a new. On the lid of the pressure canner. On the inside, I gotta get that new rubber thing for it on the inside of the lid there.
The gasket, the seal.
Well, no, it's slow to seal up, right? So when it starts doing its thing. You'll see in my last video when I was doing the chicken soup there. I was fiddling with that latch a little bit, and then once I got that popped up, right, I had to fiddle with the lid, with the handles, and push it down a couple of times, right, so I can have that stable pressure, right. So that tells me that the seal in the lid, underneath the lid there, that big rubber gasket's starting to go. And I've had the thing for just about 2 years, and I use it on a regular basis, right?
It shouldn't go in 2 years. Have you tried to plump it back up? Have you put it in a pan and of super hot water with a little bit of baking soda in it?
No, I haven't done that. I just usually put every time I use it, I put a little bit of oil that I've got, like cooking oil that I have around it, right? So it doesn't get the dry rot.
Right, but if it's not sealing good, it might be because it's been compressed too much. So
yeah, that's probably it.
Put it in a pan, a big pan, so it can kind of spread out. If you have the biggest one you have, cover it with water, bring it up to a boil, and put about a teaspoon of baking soda in there. Turn it off, and let it just sit in that water till it cools off, and it'll help plump your rubber back up.
Alrighty, then I will do that.
Do that before you buy a new one. Ollie the Monkey, my mom bought a new canner in 1970 something. It was one of the big gold ones.
Yeah.
And I have replaced the seal in that exactly once.
Yeah.
In 50 years. In 50 years, I've replaced the seal once. That's it.
Like I got the Presto one. I know I can put 7 1 liters in there. And it, other than that rubber thing having to do what you said, it's been nothing but good to me.
I have done a video, it's been quite a while, on buying an old canner at a thrift store and refurbishing it so it's back to its golden years of using it. So I have done some canner maintenance videos already, but I can do some more on, I never thought about doing one on just oiling your seal. Never ever use a petroleum product on your gasket. It will eat your rubber on your gasket. But you can use vegetable oil.
Yeah, I've got the old, I call it the old school. It's a newer canner, but it's the old school. It's just the rocker with no pressure gauges on it.
Mm-hmm.
The old school style, and it's worked for me.
Those are perfect, especially when you're for people who are like just learning. It's so much easier to just put the rocker on and not have to worry. You come up to the right pressure every time. It's not going to vary, and you just turn it up and down depending on how fast it's rocking.
Yeah, because I think there's ones with the pressure gauge and the rocker, and I got to have mine set for a nice easy rock. It's got to be on the lower end of medium, and I think that if I had the pressure gauge thing, because sometimes the pressure, needs to be up a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, that I might have to bring it up an extra bar on my stove just to get the pressure up a bit. But that's just too technical for me, and at the same time, I don't like those pressure gauges or the electric pressure canners, because you got to check them every year on a regular basis, like clockwork.
Yeah.
So that you're maintaining that pressure.
Yep. Diggs is talking about, again, never use petroleum products, even on his bushcraft knives. Always use olive oil. I also use linseed oil a lot. I really like linseed oil. I use linseed oil and beeswax to condition my wooden cutting boards, and I use it to on my butcher block, and I use linseed oil a lot on the handles of my shovels. Anything wooden I want to keep in good condition, I actually use linseed oil on. So if I was taking care of your knives, I'd use linseed oil. Is linseed oil edible though? Linseed oil is edible. I wouldn't want to eat it, but it is edible. And it is safe for... I don't usually oil my canner. I don't usually put oil on that seal at all. Only if I notice that I'm having a problem will I put some oil on it. But I'm using my canner all the time. My canner never gets put away and put up. If I was going to put my canner up for a long time, then I would put a little oil on it. But I don't use it. I'm pretty not good about following the manufacturer's instructions on that. I think they say to do it more often.
Well, none of that. Most of the time we use my All-American and it doesn't have a seal. A rubber seal.
Yeah, you could use glycerin too. Gil says that you can use glycerin. So.
Yeah, I use oil every time. Like I don't use it every day, but when I do use it, it's at least once a month, at minimum, sometimes once a week. But when I do it, right, because it's sitting away, right, I put it on every time. And it's just your cheapest. Up here, I get the Great Value oil, and that's what I use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to be.
It's very safe. It's very safe.
Yeah.
To do that oil, the olive oil, it's very safe. Ollie the monkey, yes. And the other thing with, you said that it was breaking one jar. Have you had any problems with any other of your canners on your stove? Because that also sounds like there's a problem with your burner going out. If it's breaking just one jar in the canner, it's not heating evenly. So there's a problem with the bottom of your canner, or there's a problem with your stove burner. Just an FYI, keep an eye on that.
I've had that problem there. But in my water bather, and I got another little, like, it's a roasting rack, right? Because I got the triangle slots, and when I use the 250 milliliter jars, they've always broken on me like 2 or 3 times, and that's because it was touching the metal on the bottom. So I put the second rack in the rack that's normally comes with it, and I've never had it do it again.
Perfect. That is, because it cannot be touching the bottom. So if the rack wasn't keeping them up good, that's going to cause breakage.
Yeah, and then with the water bather, it does it at a lower temperature, right? Even though it's at the same heat. But with the pressure canner, it does bring that heat up even more. So probably maybe if it's not the burner or what Rebel said, I'd be checking the rack too at the same time, because it might be down too close to the inside of the pot.
Might not be even.
Yeah.
Fishes and Lowe's life. Okay, I was wondering that today after using 3-in-1 oil on my fixed blade. Thanks for this subject. My dad did use 3-in-1 oil on all of his knives that didn't have a wooden handle. So I don't know what to tell you on that, Fishes, but he also only used linseed oil on his wooden handled knives. And 3-in-1 oil is not edible. So if you're using that knife to cut something for like food,
not good.
No, that's a no. Don't do that.
When I sharpen my knives, because I got plastic and stainless steel handles, I got a sharpening stone there. It's about yay long by yay wide by yay thick, and it's a double coarse one. And I use WD-40 on it. And but I wash it really, really well when I'm done with it, and I mean like really well. And because it's but the only thing that I can really use, you need the oil of some sort, but there's other oils you can use that are food grade oils. I'm sure of it. So as long as it's washed extremely well after, you're probably good.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Ollie the monkey. Then there's probably a issue with the bottom of that canner. I would pull it out and take a good look at it. I would not throw the canner away though, because if you have another canner that's the same age, same brand, and same size, you can interchange your lids, your parts, all the rest of that canner with another one. So I would definitely save the top with the gauge, the weights, and the seal to interchange with my other one. In fact, a lot of the same style canners are interchangeable. So you can interchange a lot of the parts from different ones with each other.
Yeah, I worry about my canner when I got to start doing some of that stuff, which is highly unlikely, but still, because mine is the Presto one, and it was made in China. So.
Yeah. Well, yep. You're welcome. I just, a lot of people throw the whole thing out, and there's parts in there, your rack. A lot of times if you want a double stack, you want the second rack. So, don't throw it out. You can use it for parts.
I use that same rack that I use in the water bather, because I double stack when I pressure can my carrots and beets and potatoes. I can double stack the 500 milliliters, and I use that little rack, and I make sure any of the there's 4 of them. There's a little like down thing on the bottom, and I don't put them on the lid like the rubber part. I make sure they're the flat surface is on the screw rings, and then I put them in there because I don't want those little down indents sitting right on the snapping part where the rubber band is.
Right. Hey, Homestead Aquarius is in here. Hi, Robert.
Hey,
Thanks
Homestead
for coming
Aquarius.
in. And I made 4 videos today, so you're going to be hungry a lot because they're all cooking videos. He was commenting on that I make him hungry when he watches my videos. Becca has an All-American, and I absolutely love it, and I am saving for my own All-American now. I use her All-American more than my Presto. And so Ollie is also saving for one. So she was commenting on that. I really like hers. Yeah, and her All-American is from 1947. So these things last forever, which is wonderful because it's a big investment.
Yeah.
So. Oh, wait till you see tomorrow's video. Do you like pie?
Yeah, I like pie.
Tomorrow's video is blueberry pie. Robert says we're putting pounds on him just watching.
I'll be the one gaining the weight. Thank you.
You're gaining the weight anyway. I know. Baby's growing.
Oh, yeah.
Big.
In the last 2 years, I've put on weight.
I put on weight during COVID because I stopped power walking. I stopped exercising, so I put on quite a bit of weight. Chef Tech 86, thank you for coming in. And yes, that's why I like the All-American. They don't have a gasket. Hey, Robert, you're late to this party, but I was celebrating some milestones. I still need 395 watch hours. You better watch. But I did get up to 175,000 views. I reached that benchmark. So I'm very excited and proud of myself for that. Too bad they're not all views from shorts. it seems like. And today, this video right now is my 401st video. My live earlier that got cut out when I was in the middle of talking was my 400th video. So I'm kind of excited. We've reached some benchmarks. We're getting there, working on it. But did you put in the link to Yossi's new channel?
No,
Okay.
I will
So
though.
before we go, we got to make sure that we put a link for Yossi's new channel because he's got a second channel for gardening. What's Fishes going on here about? Her new knife is for cutting. My fixed blade is all purpose, but I've used it to cut leaves off my banana plants and the racks. Not for food really, but plant material around food. Well, that's okay then.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't want
I've
to
got
chop an apple and eat it, you know.
yeah, I've got a knife like that, and it's an older one. My first dog got a hold of it because it was a wooden handle and it liked chewing on wood for someone forsaken reason. I left it on the counter, not even thinking, and chewed the handle. But I leave it outside, but I make sure I wash it just to get whatever stuff off of it, right? I use WD-40 to sharpen it, or 3-in-1 oil, whatever I got, right? Just make sure it's still same thing, right? You're using it on any plants or whatever, because that oil can wreck your plants.
Chef Tech, I'm not on that account anymore, and my phone dropped, and I lost a bunch of contact. So if you get back on Facebook, I would love to reconnect. I am on Facebook as Rebel Canners now, with the new logo that's the headline for my videos. But I know exactly who you are. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for all those memes. And thank you for being my friend. Well, Robert, when I get to my last 395, or while I'm working on my 395, I need to go through and watch your old watch list. I watched almost everything last year that you put out. So I need to go back past last year and do some rewatching. We'll get you working on your hours too there.
Yeah, I don't know how many videos I got, but it's at the point that I got to start referring to some of my videos, right?
Well, I've been starting to do some shorts. So
Yeah.
every time I make a video, I make a short, and then I schedule the short 6 months from now with end card to take everybody back to that video.
Yeah, because it's because I'm not just, sometimes my channel's a little bit about everything, right? So when you see a video, it might have 2 or 3 things in there, and like last night I saved some chicken bones, right? From doing the chicken soup, because I did use 2 whole chickens, right? So I put it in the bag of chicken bones, right? Which is going to go for chicken bone broth, and I've got a video of that, and then when I do that, I'll be referring for the bones, right? Make the bone broth, and then the bones I'll put into the oven and make bone meal out of it, right? So
yes.
I have to refer to that, right? And so,
well,
at the
you might want to break them up into 3 separate videos, but film them all at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. I do everything off my cell phone, right? So
right.
It was nice to do a half-hour video or a 10-minute video on just vacuum sealing or just doing the bone broth or whatever the case may be, right? When you get into these, sometimes like I did a chicken soup, right, from scratch, and oh, well, what do I do with the bones, right? So, okay, freeze them, and put it in the vacuum sealer, right, so the bones stay in there, and put it in the freezer. Oh, okay. Now I make bone broth out of it, right? So, okay, for anybody that's new that's watching that channel, right?
Yeah.
They can see at least a video on just bone broth or whatever the case may be.
Hi, Rims family. Thanks for coming in. There was another comment here I wanted to answer. Capone Cabin, if you get to 4,000 watch hours and a certain number of subscribers, you can apply for monetization, which means you get paid pennies for each commercial on your video instead of YouTube keeping all the money for the commercials on your videos. So I'm not really expecting like to make a fortune at this, but it's just one of those things. I'm kind of competitive. So if they set me a benchmark, I want to meet it. So I'm really competing against myself to get there. It's taken me 3 years. Some people do it in 6 months. It's taken me 3 years. But you should check your monetization on the side. Make sure that you've done all the requirements for it. So if you become eligible, you can collect. I think you have to get $100 before you actually get a paycheck paid out to you. So, I mean, it might be another year or two before I ever get a paycheck. But I just want to meet the benchmark. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because they set one for me.
Yeah, I see some people, like when I first started doing this YouTube thing, right? Just watching, I see people making money, right? With the last 2 years, right? It's what else are people losing their jobs, people losing their businesses, right? How else are you really going to be making money during a lockdown? You know what I mean? Might as well have some fun doing it, or start your own.
I'm doing this for fun, and I also did it because I got sick of answering the same questions over and over in the Facebook group. So I'm like, why don't I just make a video I can show you? I'm a hands-on learner. I learn from seeing somebody do something, from being hands-on with it. And so I want to teach people the way I learn best. So that's why I started doing the videos, so I could teach people the way I want to be taught.
Yeah, I'm the same way, watch a video, okay, fine, go and do it myself, and then there we go, right? Sometimes it's not going to work on the very first time, but at the same time, practice does make perfect. I'm not that great of a talker, but still, it's
Carol, careful, don't mess with Chef Tech. He is a whiz at memes, and all those little things that Garden State Gardener has been doing with that jib jab. He doesn't need jib jab for. He could send me one he's done of you if you pick on him too much and have me post it. He's very good at that tech stuff. Very good. Yes, they were. Which is why you made me so many memes.
Oh gosh.
So, well, we are way over our 2 hours, and I got to get going. But Chef Tech, you definitely need to reconnect with me. My email is in all of the videos. Thank you so much, Louis, for coming up and talking with me. Thank you to the Inquisitive Farm Wife for coming up. Thank you to everybody for being here in the chat. I really appreciate it. But if I don't get off of here and send my kid to bed, he won't make it to school tomorrow. So I am going to let you all go. Thank you.
Bye. See you guys later.